Hello, you guys. So I am going to review all of the of what is accurate and what is not accurate um, around this time of the story of the Saint Bartholomew massacre, and not just that, but some of the but all the rest of the inaccuracies, not just the Saint Bartholomew, not just the Saint Bartholomew massacre in season 2, episode 8. So in season 2 episode so. In my review in season 2, episode 8, I am going to review all the inaccuracies or the big inaccuracies of this episode. So, anyways, let's start off with the Duke of Geese and Princess Margot. So, as you know, throughout the series, they were dating. That she flirted with him, and he lied to her that he wanted to be with her because I guess because to get away with the to get away for what he truly done. And that was when he was burning the barn, which that did not happen. He had there was a massacre of Wasi, and he had them all killed. He had all those Protestants killed by some of them were they were not they were not burned and being saved and being saved by God by running through the flames. They were killed by the Duke of Guise's men by getting shot in by some of them got shot in the chest, some of them got stabbed in the chest, others lost their heads. So I just want to say that before I get to the season 2, episode 8. So anyways, so we get to season 2, episode 8, where Margot is upset because Henry of Navarre, because she didn't want to be with Henry of Navarre, which I never read this. I never looked up anything of this. That did Margot ever really truly did not want to be with Henry of Navarre? But the reason why I'm saying that is because Margot, like, literally, she like when the maids like try to set up everything in her room, she destroyed stuff, and she got so upset, and then Charles, her brother Charles, came in and tried to and told her what's wrong, and she said that Catherine, their mother, was trying to have her date with and marry Henri of Navarre, which she didn't like him. He's not interesting to her. So so he had an idea that as a king, he would tell their mother that she would not that she would not let this happen. But she said that this will prevent war. So long story short about that. Just watch the whole episode to know what I'm talking about. I don't want to get to all the detail of the I don't want to get to every detail of season 2, episode 8, because I'll get tired. So anyways, and yeah, even if I edit, which I don't, even if I edit, I'll still get tired. Even when I edit this video, like cut out, edit, like all that. When I get like a video editing app, I'm gonna get tired. So, anyways, all the other inaccuracies. Catherine had sent Jean d'Albret to the shop, where um, she had met Angelica, and Angelica, she had recognized Angelica, but Angelica didn't want to really truly tell her. So well, not really truly tell her, just watch it to know what I'm talking about. So long story shorts, or yeah, well, no, not really long story short, this is about everything I talk about in the scene where Jean d'Albret she tells Rahima. No. She tells Angelica that she wants to wear some gloves and like no, she wants to buy something. Sorry, she wants to buy something for the wedding. She wants to get ready for like the wedding. Like she wants to dress up for the wedding. So she wasn't looking for gloves, but Angelica decided for her to wear gloves. So I knew that what was going to happen because this is what really happened in real life. that, well, not really in real life. I'll explain later because this is not exactly how Jean died. So Angelica just goes into the closet and she finds these black gloves and she gives them to her and she puts them on and Jean puts them on and Jean couldn't get them off. She then starts yelling, help me," and then because she was poisoned, and then she died, and then Angelica shows up and takes off the clothing for some reason, which that's not gonna help. Or I don't know why that's gonna help her get away with it. So she takes it off, and then we see Jean's dead body with with the blood coming out of her nose because she was poisoned. Okay, so they got this right. They got some of this right that this is actually a true story. Jeanne did die before Margot and Henri's wedding. So this was not entirely accurate because which I'm not mad about that because I don't mind with something like that, okay? Because I can see why they killed her off right away after she wore them because they didn't want to waste time in the episode. And also it's even better because you wouldn't want her dying in bed for a few days and then and then just die. Like you get what I'm saying? Because she didn't die right away. She actually died 5 days after she had those gloves on, and of course she took them off. Of course, the real life Jeanne d'Albret took them off. So what actually happened was that no, Catherine de Medici did not poison Jeanne d'Albret. She had some kind of fever. What there was no way that even if she was poisoned, there was no way Catherine did this. There was no way because they had on April 8th, I would say April 8th, 1572, they had agreed like a treaty. They signed Catherine and Jeanne both signed their signatures on a treaty on an agreement that they would decide to have Catherine's daughter and Jeanne's son marry. So there's no way that Catherine would ever poison Jeanne. So, okay, so let me think, alright. So, Catherine did not send her to the shop to be poisoned. She did not poison her at all. So, Jeanne actually just went in there because the real life Jeanne wanted to go there because she wanted to dress up for the wedding. So when there was a mistress of Catherine, which I forgot her name, she witnessed her putting on some gloves. And then what happened later was that the next day, she woke. So this happened on June 4th, 1572, when she was at the shop and put the gloves on, and when the mistress had spied on her, like. That's the day when it happened. So then the next day on June 5th, she woke up. That's what I was trying to say while I was making loud noises of this chair. So the next day on June the 5th, when she woke up, she noticed there was she complained on her right hand, I think right here, that she felt something like an ache, something hurting right here, and on the top right of her hand right here. Or right here, I would say, and she wrote to her son Henry of Navarre, complaining about what Catherine done, which was probably not true. What Catherine did, that's what Jeanne was thinking. She had so she then died on June 9th, 1572, from unknown causes. It was most likely a fever. So she actually died 2 months before the wedding. Not right away before the wedding, because you guys can tell this happened right away before the wedding, which was not true. So and as for the Duke of Guise, so Margot is he was not okay. This is the wrong Duke of Guise. Okay, not Francois of Guise. Margot was she wasn't caught by having sex with a geese. She was actually oh yeah, before I tell you, it's a different the geese that she was Margot was caught was that she got in trouble with was Henry of Guise, who was Francois de Guise's son. She got in trouble. She didn't get in trouble by having sex with Francois de Guise. I mean Henry of Guise, because you can see in the show that the reason why I'm saying that is because she got in trouble by the king because she had by having sex with Francois de Guise. So what happened was she didn't have sex with Henry of Guise. She didn't have an affair with him. She wrote letters, and they caught Margot, but with the letters that she had hidden. And when Charles and Catherine, their mother, found out about this, they got angry. They took her to her bedroom, and they like what they did was they like ripped her hair. They like literally ripped her hair. I think Charles had laid her down, and then they ripped her hair. That's what happened. Charles and their mother ripped her hair off, and she cried, and that's what happened. So, but this sort of happened, which I'm glad they didn't go too far, because that would have been bad for Charles to rip her hair off. So, which they kind of got this right, because Catherine was there outside of the bedroom, which she was supposed to be inside. She was supposed to be inside the bedroom when Charles got angry, and Catherine got angry at Margot. But I'm glad that they didn't have Catherine get mad at Margot, because that was a bad accuracy. It was not a fitting accuracy. Like, you get what I'm saying? I'm saying it was a thing that happened in real life that was not a good story, if you get what I'm saying. So just watch the episode. Just watch this episode to know what I'm talking about. So what happened was Charles found out that the Duke of Guise was in trouble. I mean, that the Duke of Guise was having sex with Margot, and he told him to get out, and he told her that he was going to he told her that he was going that he told her that she was going to marry Henry. He decided that then. So, the king decided that then. So, but then she didn't want to. So then, as the king leaves, she didn't want to. She didn't want to marry Henry. So then she looked back at Margot. She turned back, and then he attacked his sister, and then she started crying, and then she was like saying, "Help, help!" Like what to do. And then Catherine just came into the bedroom, and she took the sword, the dagger of what the Duke of Guise left, and I could see why. Because she didn't want her to kill herself to avoid this marriage of her marrying Henry of Navarre. So what Catherine did was Catherine said to Margot, after she took that dagger, she said to Margot that something like this: I wish there was something that I could do. And then she left. So she left the bedroom, and Margot was crying. So okay, so as for the wedding, now I think okay, so they got this right. So they got most of this right. That, of course, they got it right with Henry of Navarre and Margaret of Valois marrying, but there was no cushions of the whatever they were called, the stands. They put cushions on there, and they were supposed to put their hands on it and pray, and that's how the wedding was supposed to happen. But no, they just knelt down, and that was about it. With nothing. They did kneel down in front. They did kneel down behind the stand where the cushion is in real life, but in the show they just knelt down and they just bowed their heads. Instead of kissing, they would bow their heads to accept it. So that's what really happened. Like what happened in real life. But what happened was what happened in real life was they prayed. They put their arms out on the pillows, and the person, I forgot who is the person who it tells them, do you take this man to be your beloved wedded wife? Do you take this wife to be your beloved? Do you take this man to be your beloved wedded husband? Do you take this woman did you take this wife to be your lawfully wedded wife, something like that. I forgot that what that person is called, but basically that person was telling Margot and Henry in real life to put their arms up here to the cushions, and they were tell them that do they accept that to be their lawfully wedded husband and wife, and they and but so here's what happened is that after that Henry accept that man told Henry to accept it by bowing his head down on the cushion, and he did, and but Margot refused. Oh yeah, definitely Margaret refused to marry Henry in real life, because this is what happened. So what happened was, when she refused to, it was either the king or Henry that put her head on the pillow cushion, and that's what happened. So Henry, was it really Henry that did it? I thought it was the king that did it in real life, because in the show they had Henry bow her head. They made her head bow down. So and then they had the and then speaking of the Antoinette de Guise, well, I didn't mention her earlier. I don't know why I'm saying speaking of her. So Antoinette Guise wanted to have wanted to have her son Francois marry Margot, which that didn't happen. They didn't want to reunite the Guise and the Valois. That did not happen. All that stuff that they were talking about throughout the season, that did not happen. But there is rumors that Antoinette de Guise was responsible over the massacre of Wassy. There was rumors that she was responsible over sending the Duke of Guise to have those people killed in that barn in the massacre of Wassy on March the 1st, 1562. So Jean d'Albret died on June 9th, 1572. The wedding didn't happen until August 18th, 1572, so the wedding wasn't right away after Jean d'Albret's death. That's just want to let you know about that. So getting back to the wedding, Antoinette de Guise did not want to have her son say anything about this, because this story did not happen at all. This story did not happen at all by having him marrying Margot. This did not happen. So of course that he would say, I don't know what my mother is talking about. That's what Francois de Guise was saying, and they continued the marriage. So they just didn't. They continued the wedding. Okay. And so of course that he would say no. Of course he would say that he has no idea what his mother is talking about, because that story all that did not happen in real life. She did not have him marry. She did not try to have him marry Margot. And also in the wedding outside, we have the Protestants outside the wedding, which I think was what happened in real life. I have no idea. So anyways, they wanted to have Edith. You remember Edith, all the Edith story throughout the season, and Edith and having all these people baptized to betray Catherine. All that did not happen. Edith did not exist. She was a made-up character. So and of course I know Abbess, Angelica, and other characters that were made up, they were not real life characters. They were just fictional characters. But so anyways, she pretended to have Edith become the regent of King Charles IX, or become the regent when Charles IX dies. So she wanted Charles IX to sign his name for this thing, I think for the massacre. So what happened was that she let Edith in and all her followers in, and she told her followers to drop off the weapons. Like Catherine told the followers she told Edith that there's no need for weapons, and then that's when I knew that she was going to have her killed and everyone else killed, or mostly everyone else killed. And so what happened was that she invited all the Protestants over, and she had them killed. Like she had all the, and I don't know who are these other men that were so here's what happened. Alessandro de' Medici was killed in the massacre. Edith was by having her throat cut. And you also have Montmorency that was killed outside. And yeah, that's. Oh yeah, and all these other men, and I don't know who these other men. I guess they were some of the followers, or why were they killed? by stabbed in the heart by the maids and getting slashed. Like, who are these other men? So, I just forgot in the series. So, so, so the maids were working on this. They were into on this. The maids of Catherine were also, they were stabbing, they were killing. Rahima was shot and locked in the door by Catherine's brother, I would say. And, so this was not accurate with the massacre, okay? Because, okay, so, which I can see why. Because the massacre, I can see why they did this. This is better, okay? I can see why they did this. I'm not disappointed. Because in real life, the massacre was worse. The real life massacre was worse. So, what happened is that, okay, so I'm gonna tell you, alright, I'm gonna tell you what happened in the show. So, what happened was, they were all killed in the dinner table. They were all killed, in the banquet. Which did not happen in real life, but that's better. So they had, what, Catherine was, so Catherine slit, Edith's throat, and then, Alessandro de' Medici was killed in the massacre, and Montmorency was killed outside. So Montmorency was actually assassinated in the battle in the Second War of Religion on November 12th, 1567, and he was actually dead in 1572. I'm not making a straight face. This is what face I'm making. So, anyways, this is just my natural face. But anyways, Alessandro de' Medici, he's been dead long, long ago. Since January 10th, 1537, he was assassinated in his bedroom because he was taking power, because he was a Medici, wanted power. He wanted power. So his cousin, one of his cousins had assassinated him in his bed. And he was not killed in the massacre. So yeah, that's what happened. So oh yeah, and also that Louis of Bourbon, I thought they were going to kill him. I thought they actually killed him, but no, he actually survived in the end. And I was like, where was Antoine? But no, he was just alive after he was like being drowned in the water. Like, how did these brothers survive? It's because they were baptized and had the power, and they had the same power as Edith, even though Edith had her throat cut. So, and also the Guises, they were in prison. They were not killed, and I thought they were gonna have the king execute the Duke of Guise. So here's what I thought that was going to happen. I thought that Charles was catching the Duke of Guise, and by watching Margot and Francois have sex, and then he was going to have him arrested again, and then that's when he was going to have him on the chopping block. But no, they hadn't. They kept him alive, and I'm like, geez. How long are you going to keep these two Guise brothers and these two Bourbon brothers, the same Bourbon brothers and the same Guise brothers, alive? How long are you going to keep them alive? They should be, the Cardinal of Guise did not die until December 26th, or, when did he die? I'm sorry, let me pause this video. Sorry, I had to pause because I had to look up when he died, and I was right, he died on December 26th. 1574. I have it right here on my phone. I'm looking at it right now. So his Charles de Lorraine. That's the one, the Guise brother I'm talking about. So he's the one that should be still alive, because he didn't die until months after the king's death. But all the other brothers, and I don't mean the Bourbons are Charles Cardinal of Guise's brothers. I meant they are a brother. I meant Charles, his brother Francois de Guise, and Antoine and his brother Louis of Bourbon. They're all a brother. Okay, you get what I'm saying? They're a brother, because Antoine is brothers to he's brothers to Louis, and Francois is brothers to Charles. So that's what I meant by that. So anyways, And then it just made Catherine an evil person. Even though Catherine was not evil, she did not poison Jean d'Albret. She did not. She was not responsible over the same massacre of Bartholomew. And they were missing one person, and that was Admiral de Coligny. He was actually working with Jean d'Albret and during the war, during the Second War of Religion or the Third War of Religion. I think both. And he was actually, and what happened is during the morning on August 24th, 1574, he was actually, somebody knocked on the door, I think it was a monk, and someone shot him. And then he was laying there in the surgeon room where Catherine was meeting him, telling him that she was like saying, what have they done to you? Something like that. And then the massacre happened later that day, and then they kept going until the morning, on August 25th, 1572. Did I say 1574? I meant 1572. Did I say August 24th, 1572? I meant 1570. Did I say 1570? Did I say 1574? I meant 1572, okay? So I'm saying Admiral de Coligny was shot in the morning on August 24th, 1572, and that's the same day when Catherine came in and telling him what have they done to him, and like she probably said, what have they done to you? Like she probably said something like that, and then later that day there was a massacre, and it lasted up until the morning on August 25th, 1572. And what actually happened is that during the morning of August 25th, 1572, was when there was the people that came in the massacre. They tried to kill Admiral de Coligny. He tried to escape, so he went out the window, and then he fell down, and then all those people were out there, and one man just took his sword and swung it down, beheaded with one stroke, and that's how Admiral de Coligny died. They didn't have Admiral de Coligny in this series at all. It's like he didn't exist. Did he exist at all in this universe? Did he exist at all in this Serpent Queen universe? And also, we don't know the cause of what happened in the massacre. We don't know how the massacre of Bartholomew happened. Just like the massacre of Wassy, we don't know what happened. And also, what they left out is that he said, Charles the Ninth said, "Kill, kill." That's the line. What he was saying. He was like, that's what he was saying. But I can see why they didn't do that, because because that doesn't fit really in the better story, because it's like kill, kill. It's not really like something that you would say in a story, in a series. Like, you get what I'm saying? But anyways, and also another thing is that Catherine did not know that Rahima was actually pregnant. And that's what... Okay, so before this, Catherine tried to kill her. I think she tried to kill her because she betrayed her by having sex with her brother. But then Rahima told Catherine that she was pregnant, and she has a Medici in her stomach. And I have a feeling, is this going to be Maria de Medici? Is Maria de Medici going to be Rahima's daughter? I know that it's actually Catherine... Maria de Medici is Catherine's daughter. No, cousin. She was Catherine de Medici's cousin, not her daughter. I didn't mean to say daughter, I meant to say her cousin. And also, they made this mistake that Maria de Medici, if this is Maria de Medici, then they get this wrong, because Maria de Medici is not Catherine de Medici's niece. She was her cousin. And this is probably going to be a whole different Medici. This is probably going to be a whole different Medici. I have no idea. But they have a Medici. But I could see I could see why they have these paintings of the Medicis in the beginning of season 2, episode 8, because they were trying to let us know, kind of, that there was going to be another Medici. I have no idea. That they were probably going to let us know that there were going to be another Medici in Rahima's stomach. And when I'm saying another Medici, I don't mean like there's twins in her stomach. I meant there's another one gonna be born. You get what I'm saying? But whoever this Medici is going to be, it's either going to be a son or a daughter. I have no idea. I think it's going to be Maria de Medici. And uh let's see. Let's see. Is that it to talk about so far? Okay, and another thing is that Catherine, was not setting up all these evil things throughout this season 2. She was not the Serpent Queen. She did not have Philip II was not a cripple. He was not injured by a horse. He Elizabeth married him as a healthy. I mean, Elizabeth of Valois married him as a healthy man. Uh, Henry III was not a monk. Well, he was like a he became a Huguenot when he was 9 years old, but he was not like this. He did not try to have all this. He did not do this massacre thing. He did not try to kill his sister. They really went too far in this series, and okay, he did went too far when he had murdered the Guises. I think he married more than just. I mean, I think he murdered more than just Henry de Guise and his brother the Cardinal of Guise, which I forgot that brother de Guise's name. Maybe I can look it up. I don't have to pause this. Maybe I can look it up here. Who are the Guises that Henry III had murdered? No. It says Jesus. I meant Guises. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so I was saying that's what I thought because this is pulling. It's pulling up the right thing. So Henry the First Duke of Guise. So that's his yeah, that's the one of the brothers who was assassinated. And but who was the brother? Who was the brother? You know, I'm gonna have to pause this. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to pause this. I thought it was gonna be short, but no, it's taking too long. Sorry. Okay, so his name is Louis II. His name, Louis II de Lorraine, or Lorraine. His name is Louis II de Lorraine, Cardinal de Guise. Sorry for struggling saying that name, but that's his name. His name is, just gonna say it again, just to let you know that this is not a mistake. Louis II de Lorraine, Cardinal de Guise. That's the brother who was, that's the Henry de Guise's brother who was also murdered. I think these were the only Guises who were murdered. I think Henry had other Guises of the family murdered, but he kept his uncle, the Cardinal, the Bourbon Cardinal, which this is gonna take too long to look up other things, but his uncle. I'm just gonna say his uncle, Cardinal of Cardinal of Guise. He was the no, not Cardinal of Guise. He was a cardinal. He was a Bourbon cardinal, and he was going to have his throne after Henry III, but he was actually a Clement, like how you pronounce it, and we had two French kings on the throne, because Henry of Navarre was actually the heir, and he became king of France after Henry III died, and after Henry III died, not only Henry of Navarre became king, but also Henry of Navarre's uncle. But Henry of Navarre's uncle died early in Henry of Navarre's reign, on May 9th, 1590, I think. But that's basically what I'm saying, that Henry III did win too far, but not around this time. So, anyways, that is it for this episode. I'm not gonna go into anything else. That is it. And oh yeah, and one more thing. Also, really, one more thing. Margot was saying that what she had done, like what happened to our siblings, like Hercule's dead, the king is dying, Elizabeth of Valois is married to a cripple, the Duke of Anjou is monk, like whatever she was saying, and she had Margot marry somebody who she didn't want to marry, and that's all. This is what she's saying is not true. Catherine did not want to. Well, actually, it might be right with might be right with she might be right with Catherine, like, wanted to force her to marry Henry of Navarre because this is what's best for France. Like, because in real life that she had to be put her head on the cushion. So, anyways, and also that, her saying that she, Margot saying that she loves her husband anyway, even when she doesn't like her, like, that doesn't make any sense. So you don't want to marry her, and so you don't want to marry him, you didn't want to marry him, but then you like him anyway just to save his life, and what? That doesn't make any sense. So anyways, that is it for this video, really, and, I'm sorry for stuttering and all that. It's autism, okay? That's my autism, and I'm sorry for taking so long for talking about all this. It's just because of my autism, okay? And I'm not really, like, saying, okay, I'm sorry. I'm not being like that. That's just how I naturally talk, okay? I am genuinely sorry. So, anyways, that is it, and bye.